I will still say good morning, everybody. Welcome to War Memorial Stadium. Time currently here in Virginia is 11:56. Getting ready for first pitch here at War Memorial Stadium. Game one of a four-game series this weekend against Penn State, Mont, Alto for the Builders. So let's go ahead and take a look at the batting lineup. In the booth by myself today. So, batting order for Mont Alto looks like this. Leading off and playing center field is Sibbert. Batting second is Ziegler, and he's playing right. Kissel's batting third, playing first. Bailey's doing the catching, and he is batting fourth. Rosenberry's batting fifth, playing third. Worth is DHing today, batting sixth. Echeverria is batting seventh and playing left field. Copenhaver is batting eighth and playing short, and Morgan is at second, batting ninth. Builders in the outfield, in the field, look like this. Little different. If you've been around for a few years, you'll notice the lineups are very different in the field. Today, left to right, we have Anderson in left, Baker Green in center, Jet Winslow's over there in right. Around the horn, third to first, you have Justin Bradshaw, Isaac McAllister, Nate Yeary, who's generally the center fielder. He's roaming second today, and Drew Barbosa at first. Doing the pitching is Nick Redmond, and doing the catching is Seth Harrison. So, like I said, a little different look for the Builders today on the field. So we're getting ready to get this going. As I said, Redmond's throwing for the Builders today. He's 2-0 so far this season in his two starts. He's got a 328 earned run average in his 10 and 2/3 innings pitched. Batters are hitting 244 against him. The first pitch, swing and a miss for strike one. And that one's driven to right field. Back it goes, and it lands in Penn State's bullpen. So the second pitch seen by the Nittany Lion, Siebert, he puts that one in the bullpen for the first run of the day. That'll bring Ziegler to the plate. That one's grounded up the middle. Isaac's there, fires over to Barbosa for the first out of the inning. That'll bring the first baseman, Wyatt Kissel, to the plate. Looks like it's Mont Alto's first game of the season. First pitch to Kissel was a strike. Second pitch here. It's hit high to shallow center. Baker comes in, makes the play. So that'll bring up the catcher, Cameron Bailey. I'd give stats, but like I just said, this is their first game of the season. So they have not accumulated any stats yet. First pitch Bailey's going to see on the season is a ball. Swing and a miss. Swung through that pitch for strike 2. 1-2's the count. A little outside, 2-2. The Builders split a doubleheader with Mackey on Wednesday, winning game 1 and then losing in game 2. That pitch was close. And he got him looking. So after the home run, Penn State went 1-2-3. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium here in just a moment, and we will look at the Builders lineup.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium here for the bottom of the second inning. Batting order. Let's take a look at that for the Builders. All right, leading off, we got the second baseman, Nate Erie. Then Seth Harrison's batting second and catching. Jaden Anderson batting third. Jet Winslow batting fourth. Justin Bradshaw's batting fifth. Wesley McAllister's batting sixth. Drew Barbosa's batting seventh. The DH, his first name has just slipped my mind. Aiden Walker, and batting eighth, rounding out the lineup is not Seth Green. Baker Green. Out in the field, Mount Alto. Nope, that's the apprentice school. Mont Alto looks like this. You got Echeverria in left, Siebert in center, Ziegler in right. Round the horn, Rosenberry's at third. Coperhaver is at short. Morgan second. Kissel's at first. Bailey's behind the plate. And Fogel is doing the pitching. So, top of the order for the Builders, Nate Erie playing second. And he takes that pitch right up the middle, scooped up by Coperhaver, and over to Kissel for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out. That'll bring Seth Harrison to the plate. Seth is batting .368 on the season in the 6 games. He's played in every game. He's had 19 at-bats, driven in 2. Check swing. Counts even at 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Seth is a freshman out of Chesterfield, Virginia. That one's hit towards right field, but it's going to slice out of play to keep the count at 1-2. Good crowd out here at the ballpark today for this noon start. That one's fouled out of play. Well, with the count being 1-2, that pitch must have hit him. Because I was like, wait, that couldn't have been 4. Coming in as a courtesy runner is Jackson Thomas. Builders use, I think it's the NAIA rules that allow the courtesy runner. First pitch to Jaden is a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 is the count to the Builder senior out of Charleston, West Virginia. A little high. Driven through Charleston, West Virginia a few times. Stayed the night there once. Throw over to first. Runner back safely. The 1-2 pitch. Jaden swings through that one for the second out of the inning. That'll bring Jed Winslow to the plate. Senior out of Perquimans, North Carolina, I guess. Wow. Jet currently batting .200 on the season. First pitch Jet sees. He swings through for strike 1. He's had 20 at-bats, driven in 4 RBIs. Swung through that one for strike 2. Oh, and 2 is the count. Oh, 2 pitch. Foul out of play. Jet fighting to stay alive at the plate today. At this at-bat, 3 pitches. Runner goes, but it doesn't matter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. For the third and final out of the inning. So through 1, Penn State, Mont Alto lead the Builders 1-0. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow. where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all Apprentice Athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit gobuilders.com to get your membership today.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium, top of the second inning. Leading off is the third baseman, Rosenberry. First pitch, ball. Nick Redmond's third start of the season. Second pitch was in for strike one. Counts back even at 1-1. Outside. Nick Redmond, another senior out of New Kent. Outside again. Ball 3. 3-1. That's hits the corner. Takes a count full. And he gets him looking for strike 3. So some career stats for Redmond. For his career as a builder, I don't understand how that works. He's got a 2.81 ERA, 21 wins, 5 losses, in 43 appearances with 33 games started. They're going to appeal to first base. He did not go. Count is 2-1. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with that very well today. 3-1. Three-one pitch. Out of play, 3-2. So the count is full to the DH, Worth. That ball's lifted to center field. Back a few steps as Baker makes the catch. So that'll bring up the left fielder, number 4, Matthew Echevarria. Echevarria steps in with 2 outs. First pitch he saw was a strike. Redmond kicks, fires, and that one's grounded right to Drew Barbosa, and he makes the play. So Penn State, Mont Alto goes 1-2-3 in their half of the second. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
there are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Bottom of the second inning. 6. I'm sorry, 5, 6, 7 due up. Leading off the inning for the Builders is number 6, Justin Bradshaw, playing third today. The first pitch in there for Justin is strike 1. Just a hair outside. Evens the count at 1-1. A little low. Ball 2. 2-1's the count. Fouled away, 2-2. It's a beautiful day here in Newport News today. It's not a cloud in the sky over the ballpark right now. Currently, the temperature's 54 as Bradshaw strikes out for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Isaac McAllister. First pitch, Isaac sees, he fouls away. Isaac another. Wait a minute. So Isaac and Jaden are both from Charleston, West Virginia. Went to the same high school. Counts even at 1-1. As he lifts that one to right field. Oh, that's ours. Under it is Eager for the play in the second out of the inning. Which brings up the first baseman, Drew Barbosa. Barbosa's a freshman out of Suffolk, Virginia. Drew is batting .333 on the season. The first pitch he sees is a ball. Second pitch in there for strike 1. Counts even, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Pitch right down. Looked to be right down the middle. Swung through that one for strike 3. So both the Builders and Mont Alto go 1, 2, 3 in their half of the inning. We're heading to the top of the third after this.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
And welcome back to War Memorial Stadium for the top of the third inning. Through 2 innings, Redmond, you can say very efficient. He's thrown 25 pitches. He has given up the 1 run. He's struck out 2. 8-9-1. So we got Copenhaver leading off, followed by Morgan and then Sibbert. The first pitch is, that's not what I wanted. Was low, ball 1. Outside, 2-0. Brought that one back across. Strike. 2-1 is a count. Redmond, very fast worker on the mound. Swing and a miss. He gets the ball, gets in his glove, gets a sign, and throws. That one's foul back. Out of play. And Bradshaw gets his 3rd strikeout of the game. I'll bring up Morgan, the second baseman. First pitch was swung through for strike 1. Second pitch was also strike. There's only 1 out. I'm ahead of myself. This pitch was a ball. Swinging strike for strike number 3. And the second out of the inning. That'll bring up James Seibert, the center fielder, who in his first at-bat put the baseball in the right field bullpen. Curve ball in there for strike 1. Outside. Counts even. Two and 1 is the count. Caught him looking at that strike 2. Counts even 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Counts full 3-2. So Sibbert's current batting average is 1,000. He's 1 for 1. Payoff pitch, grounded, foul. Count will stay at 3-2. Three-two pitch, way outside, ball 4. That'll bring up the right fielder. And that 2-1 pitch was, where was Drew throwing that one? So that 2-1 pitch to Ziegler was hit to right field. And it landed and died. Jet got there, relayed the throw in. It had Sibbert if the throw would have gone according to plan. However, it did not. So that's the second run of the game for Mont Alto. That'll bring up Wyatt Kissel. He bloops one into left. That'll bring in the third run of the game as that one drops in. And that'll bring up the catcher, Cameron Bailey. So it kind of looked like a promising inning for the Builders to getting back to the bats. Did not turn into that. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch inside, ball 1. Runner on first. 2 runs have come across in this inning. As that pitch is fouled back. Pretty close. Feel like to where I would normally have a camera set up. That one's popped high down the left field line. Over is Jaden. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. Not before damage is done, though. Mont Alto scores 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error. Committed by the Builders, 1 man left on base. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium, where the Builders trail 3-0. Carter Fogel's thrown 28 pitches through 2 innings. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Builders are bringing 8-9-1 to the plate. So Aiden Walker leading off the inning, getting his season debut going on here. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch is in there for strike. Two and one's a count. Again, you got the pitch clock there in the leftish part of your screen. That one bounces up, 3-1. It's in there for strike 2. Count is now full. 3-2 the count to the Builder DH. As that one's pulled through the hole between short and third. Where that goes. So that'll bring up the center fielder, Baker Green. Baker's batting 188 on the season. 16 at bats, 3 RBIs. So that one's fouled straight back to the screen. 0-1. Builders got the leadoff man on, need to take advantage. They throw over. Throw over again. On the season, the Builders have 11 attempted stolen bases. Pitch is in, hit hard, or not hard, bouncer to third. There for 1, but not 2. That'll take us back to the top of the order, and Nate Erie. Nate grounded out to short in his first at-bat. First pitch here to Nate is outside, or is a ball. Runner goes. Pitch was a ball. And that one gets away and into the outfield. So Baker gets his 3rd stolen base of the season on 4 attempts. Nate lifts that one to left center. Over is Sibbert to make the play. 2 down. So that'll take us to Seth Harrison. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. They turn around, check the runner, send him back to second. Ball in the dirt. The 1-0 count, fouled away, 1-1. Runner on second. That one's driven into right center. Baker comes around from first to score, or from second to score. The Builders' first run of the game. So Harrison gets a single. That'll bring Jaden Anderson to the plate. Wow. Strike to Jaden. And Seth steals second. We'll call it an injury timeout. As Jaden has a 1-1 count. Something. You know what? We'll step away. We'll be back here in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place.
All right, welcome back. The trainer went over, looked at him. I guess maybe stretched a little bit of his calf, Achilles, I don't know. But we're back for balls ready to go. 1-1 is the count to Jaden with 2 outs and a runner on second. Builders have scored 1 run this inning. And that was low ball 2. So the 2-1 pitch to Jaden. Jaden bloops that one into foul territory. Will it stay in play? It does. It's caught by the first baseman for the 3rd out of the inning. Builders' half of the inning comes to an end. as they make a dent in the lead. They score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors were made, and 2 men were left on base. 1 man was left on base. We'll be back for the 4th inning here at War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Garrett Rosenberry leading things off for Mont Alto as they have 5, 6, 7 coming to the plate. It's outside, ball 1. Rosenberry struck out looking in his first at-bat. And he looks at that strike. Count is even at 1-1. Call it the corner, strike 2. 1-2 is the count. And he got him looking. So that'll bring up the DH, Garrett Worth. Here in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch, strike 1. He flew out to center back in the 2nd inning. Pitch was high, runs the count even at 1-1. Swung through that heater, strike 2. One and 2. That one blooped towards right again, but it's going to land in foul territory. So the count stays at 2-1. The 1-2 pitch, I'm sorry. Inside, counts even, 2-2. Foul down the first base line. Way outside, 3-2. Not a lot of wind here today at the ballpark. Those flags in center field not really blowing. 3-2 pitch. Called ball 4. As Garrett Worth works himself a 1-out walk. That'll bring up the right fielder, Matthew Echevarria. Echeverria grounded out to the first baseman in his first at bat. First pitch he sees is a strike. Sends that one out of play. Over the Builder dugout for strike two. Well, I think my camera got bumped. I can now see a lot more of the Builder dugout. That throw, Builders throw over. Keep Mont Alto honest. Swing and a miss. He goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. So 2 down for John Copenhaver, the shortstop. First pitch from Redmond was a strike. Second pitch, high and in. Counts even, 1-1. Foul back to the screen, 1-2. To Mont Alto, shortstop. Redmond toes the rubber. He got the ball. He's got his sign. He's going. And that one's fouled back out of play over the first base dugout. Into the parking lot. No vehicles were damaged. Comes the fifth pitch of the at-bat. Ball 2. Count is even at 2-2. Runner on first. That's hit hard to the shortstop. Isaac jogs to second. He takes care of it himself for the third and final out of the inning. No damage done. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 man left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in the Builders half of the fourth in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium here. And earlier today I said Newport News. This is technically Hampton, Virginia. Leading off for the Builders is Jet Winslow as the Builders bring 4-5-6 to the plate. Jet struck out swinging his first at bat of the game. First pitch to Jet here is low and away, ball 1. Catches the outside corner for strike 2. High chopper to third. As Rosenberry catches that high chopper, fires it to Kissel for out number 1. That'll bring Justin Bradshaw to the plate, who struck out in his first at-bat, also swinging. First pitch, Justin sees his strike. Bounces in there for ball 1. Counts even 1-1. I think he fouled that one off. He might have swung through it and it popped out of the catcher's glove. Not sure. Kick the 1-2. Low. Counts even. 2-2. Justin hits that one to right field. On comes Ziegler to make the play. 2 down in the builder. Home half of the 4th inning where they trail 3-2. It'll bring Isaac McAllister to the plate. He flew out to right field in his last at-bat. First pitch to Isaac is away, ball 1. Isaac kind of golfs that one into center field. It bounces right in front of the center fielder. Isaac's on his horse, and he's in with a double. He kind of saw the center fielder bobble it a little bit as he made the turn, and he took off. And then the second baseman kind of bobbled it on the relay throw. So that'll bring up Drew Barbosa. He struck out swinging his first at-bat. That first pitch is in there, strike 1. Outside, counts even, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Isaac there on second. He fakes the go. Check swing, strike 2. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. These will be 7-inning games. So while we're in the 4th, we are halfway there in a way. So the Builders and Isaac's going to get caught in a rundown. And they finally get him. So that's the 3rd out of the inning for the Builders. Barbosa will come back to the plate when they come back to their half of the 5th inning. So we'll be back to War Memorial Stadium And the top of the fifth in just a moment.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
Welcome back, War Memorial Stadium. Top of the fifth. The first pitch is swung through by Dylan Morgan, the 9-hitter for Mont Alto. Quickly, the count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Swung through, strike three. That'll take us back to the top of the lineup. And James Sibbert. James is 1 for 1 on the day with a home run, a walk. Scored 2 of the 3 runs that Mont Alto has pushed across the plate. He swings through that off-speed pitch, strike one. He golfs, bounces that one towards the Builder dugout. Oh, and 2. Is the count. Little outside. Ball 1. So Mont Alto center fielder's looking at a 1-2 count as he fouls that one away. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the right fielder, Braden Ziegler. Braden's 1 for 2 today. He's got an RBI. And also scored a run. First 2 pitches to him are balls, so he's got a 2-0 count. Two and one's a count. That pitch is fouled back out of play. Two-two pitch from Redmond. Swung on and missed. For strike 3. And the third out of the inning. Mont Alto goes 1-2-3, all by strikeouts. Here in the top of the 5th inning, we'll be back to War Memorial Stadium. And the bottom of the 5th in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Drew Barbosa's getting ready to step in. He was at the plate when Isaac got caught in that rundown in the last inning. Drew is 0 for 1 today. Struck out in his first plate appearance. As he fouls that one back and out of play, strike one. He had a 3-2 count in that last inning. Go one, swing and a miss, strike two. 0-2 to the builder first baseman. Outside. 1-2. That one's low. Is it? Might have skipped in there. It's definitely low. 2-2. Counts even. So Barbosa sits in the same position he did last inning. 3-2 count. Fouled that one away to stay alive. 3-2, nobody out. You could say Builders down to their last 9 outs. Kind of. No, the coach would never say that to him. Fouled that one away. Ben Jones, been the coach here since 2022. He's been the manager, head coach of the Builders. 3-2 pitch. And Barbosa earns himself a leadoff walk. Ben Jones, the head coach, manager, John McConnell, or Mac, one of the assistant coaches. Chris Scarola, Cam Weston has been added to the coaching staff this year. As Aiden Walker comes to the plate, he's 1 for 1 today. He singled to left. As that pitch was low, it's going to get away from the catcher. Barbosa's going to make his way to second on that pass ball. Pinch runner is number 4, Austin Wirt, a freshman out of Melfa, Virginia. I believe with the NAI rules, you have 1 re-entry, I believe. That one's hit hard through the hole between first and second. Squirrel is going to hold Austin at third. And Walker gets his second hit of the day. That'll bring Baker Green to the plate. Baker's 0 for 1 today. He reached on a fielder's choice and has scored the lone builder run. However, builder's sitting in great shape right now to get a run on. First and third, nobody out. And that one's hit towards second. The run will score. And Green will reach, in essence, on a fielder's choice again. Ben Jones wanted explanation of why or why not his foot stayed on the bag, or was on the bag when he caught it, I think. So it takes to the top of the order, Nate Yeary. Nate Yeary is 0 for 2 today. Grounded to short and popped out to center. First pitch he sees, he swings through, strike 1. So the Builders cut into that lead a little bit. Runner goes. Throw down. And he's in there. That's Baker's second stolen base of the game. Count is 1-1. 2-1. Inside, 3-1. Nate Yeary, the senior out of Cortland, Virginia, went to Southampton County High School. Grounds that one to second. Up and firing was Morgan to Kissel in the second out of the inning. Baker moves over to third. In essence, a productive out by Nate. Brings Seth Harrison to the plate. He's 1 for 1 today with an RBI. He was hit by a pitch and then singled to right. First pitch he sees is a ball. Second pitch is in there for strike 1. Counts even, 1-1. Runner on third. That ball's lifted to left. Back goes the left fielder. Back off the fence. So one run is in as Seth turns and goes to third. In essence, the left fielder could not pick the ball up. Baker comes in and scores to tie the game. That'll bring Jaden Anderson to the plate. Seth will get the courtesy runner of Jackson Thomas. First pitch to Jaden is a strike. Second pitch to Jaden is inside, ball one. Grounded in between the hole past the diving third baseman and shortstop. As Jackson comes in to score. And now Jaden has a single. So just like that, here in the bottom of the fifth inning, Builders have pushed 3 across so far. And we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll be back here to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all Apprentice athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit gobuilders.com to get your membership today.
Right, welcome back into War Memorial Stadium. The new pitcher for Mont Alto is their DH, Garrett Worth. So Garrett's coming to pitch. The first batter he's going to face is Jet Winslow. Jet comes in with 2 down. Runner on first. First pitch Jet sees as a strike. Fogle through 4 2/3 innings, through 80 pitches, walked 1. That pitch is fouled away for strike 2. Struck out 4, gave up 6 hits. Currently is allowed 4 runs, 3 are earned. However, the runner on first does go against that line. Runner goes. That one's poked to short. Copenhaver's up and makes the play for the third and final out of the inning. Not before the Builders can push 3 runs across to take a 1-run lead. Builders scoring 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. 1 man was left. We'll be back for the top of the 6th inning here at War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium, top of the 6th inning. So Fogle does end with just the 4 runs, and 3 of those were earned. First pitch to Wyatt Kissel is a strike here in the top of the 6th. Wyatt's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Second pitch in there is a ball. Runs the count even at 1-1. Outside, 2-1. I know I made the comment earlier how Redmond gets the ball, gets the sign, and throws it. Well, he takes the same practice to his warm-up tosses, basically. He gets, in between innings, he gets the ball back from the catcher and sets and fires. High pop fly towards third base. Bradshaw's under it, makes the play. So his kind of in-between inning time goes very quick when Redmond is on the mound. That'll bring up the catcher, Cameron Bailey. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out once. Looking way back in the first inning. Popped to the left fielder. First pitch to him was a strike. Strike 2. Oh, what looked like might have been a curveball. High heat, ball 1. Again. Ball 2. That fastball was a little high. That pitch got away from Redmond. Count is full, 3-2. As I mentioned, the one-time reinsertion. Barbosa's back at first. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the second out of the inning. So I'll bring up Garrett Rosenberry. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, both looking. As this is probably going to be Redmond's last inning. As through 5 2/3, he's thrown 96 pitches. Looking strike 2. So number 22, Grant Stratton, is down in the Builder bullpen warming up as that pitch was outside. So counts 1-2. Here comes the 100 pitch of Redmond's day, and it's fouled back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. And he gets him looking, strike 3. Redmond, outside of the first inning, outside of the one pitch in the first inning and that third inning, pitching a very good day. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
Welcome back. War Memorial Stadium. Builders lead 4-3. Heading into their home half of the 6th inning, where Bradshaw, McAllister, and Barbosa will be due up. Bradshaw steps in as he's 0 for 2 today. He struck out once and popped out to right. First pitch to Bradshaw's in there for strike 1. Foul back to the screen, strike 2. So like I said earlier, this is a double header. So they're playing 2 7-inning games. The second game will start 30 minutes after this first one ends. It's Builders bat here in the home half of the 6th inning. That one's grounded past the diving Kissel. And Bradshaw gets his first base hit of the day. Pinch. So in the run is number 23. That bunt by Isaac is back to the screen. Number 23, Chase Matrasic, is into pinch run. Isaac tried to bunt. The first pitch. Throw over, got him. For the first out of the inning, that erases the Builder base runner. Second pitch to Isaac is in there for strike 2. So the Builders try to go with a little more speed on the base paths. Try to get an insurance run or two. That pitch is fouled back out of play. And I guess you could say it backfired as Chase gets picked off at first. The 0-2 pitch. Low and away, ball one. Isaac is 1 for 2 today. He popped out to right and doubled in the fourth. As he's now looking at a 2-2 count. That's in there for strike 3. So Isaac gets caught looking. We'll bring up Drew Barbosa. Barbosa's 1 for 2 today. No, he's not. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out and walked. First pitch to Barbosa was a strike. Second pitch runs the count even at 1-1 to the builder, first baseman. It's in there for strike 2. The 1-2 pitch swung through and missed, strike 3. And that'll do it for the Builders half of the 6th inning. The Builders go 1-2-3. Builders lead 4-1 as we head to the final frame. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Top of the 7th inning. Down to the final 3 outs for Mont Alto, and Nick Redmond still on the mound for the Builders. He's thrown 101 pitches through his 6 innings of work so far. Get you a little more of that line here in a second. As that pitch is popped high to the center, drifting over is Baker. He makes the catch. As Worth pops out for the first out of the inning. So 6, 7, 8 are due up. So next will be Matthew Echeverria. As Redmond is thrown. That was his 104th pitch, and it was a ball. 67 strikes, 24 balls. Second pitch is in there for strike 1, 1-1. Just missed on that. One for ball 2. That one's fouled out of play. runs the count even at 2-2. Mont Alto down to their final 2 outs. And that one's fouled away out of play. And that one's fouled out of play. Two-two pitch, 7th pitch of this at bat. Outside, 3-2. So 3-2 is fouled out of. No, it's not. Yeah, it's a fouled out of play. It landed on top of the concession stand area / bathroom / batting cage area that the Pilots have had built here. Now it's grounded up the middle. Isaac up, fires to first for the second out of the inning, which will bring the shortstop, John Copenhaver, to the plate for the 3rd time today. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and reached on a fielder's choice. As Mont Alto's down to their final out of this game 1. That one is fouled out of play for strike 1. That one's also grounded to short. Isaac up and fires. For the 3rd and final out of the inning, and that'll do it. Builders take game 1. The final score of 4-3. Mont Alto scores 3 runs on 3 hits. And they commit 1 error. The Builders score 4 runs on 7 hits. They also committed 1 error. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for game 2 of this doubleheader. We'll see you then.